Please, shall we please stand our feet?
This is a welcome address by me on the occasion of the handing over of this ultra-modern High Court building on today, the 3rd of February 2021. So on behalf of judges of Edo State Judiciary and stakeholders of the justice sector, I am immensely elated to make these remarks at this epochal official handing over of this magnificent brand new world-class ultra-modern High Court complex. On this very auspicious occasion, I would like to specially welcome with an avalanche of gratitude the Governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, and his formidable team, the brains behind this magnificent edifice and citadel of justice to this gathering of immense historical significance. On the recent occasion of the swearing in of 8 High Court judges of Edo State Judiciary, Your Excellency declared, and I quote, that for us to have a virile democracy, we must strengthen the rule of law, making sure that the judiciary is one of the strongest arms of our democracy in Nigeria. This morning, we are a step further in fulfilling our desire to make Edo State one of the strongest hubs in Nigeria. Our dream of making Edo State an economic hub will not be realized if our laws are not strong, unquote. I cannot agree more. The above resolve and determination has undoubtedly driven Your Excellency's conception and infrastructural development of what I have come to refer to as the Trinity Projects for Edo State Judiciary. The Trinity Project I refer to are: 1, the construction and completion of this building, which His Excellency is handing over to us today, the judges' quarters at Agwaba Simi Crescent, and the massive renovation of the old High Court complex building. In all of these, what is particularly gratifying to me is the passion Your Excellency has deployed in ensuring that this dream is actualized, even in the face of the daunting economic downturn brought about by the global COVID-19 pandemic and perennial competing demands for scarce economic resources by all sectors. On a day such as this, it is imperative to once again reiterate the significance of the judiciary as a bastion of our nation's democracy and the last hope of the provincial common man. Undoubtedly, as we travel along the path of executing this avowed civil and constitutional role, the stability, quality, and well-being of our democratic march shall invariably be determined by the degree of importance and seriousness our society attaches to the judiciary. A strong and truly independent judiciary is in the best interest of all of us. It is indeed the best legacy we can all bequeath to our children and generations yet unborn. As we bask in the euphoria of today's epochal event, I wish to underscore the point that the essence, purpose of the law and relevance of the justice delivery system in every society is measured by its accessibility, affordability, and availability to the public at all times. Law cannot be said to be enforced when the infrastructure of facilities that anchor its functionality is grossly inadequate or unavailable. Therefore, the existence and the efficacy of the law, and by extension, justice, are contingent on the existence of structures for any system that administers it, dispense justice, and midwife orderliness in the society. In doing so, we must also accord high premium to the provision of adequate funding for the day-to-day running of the judiciary. In this regard, I once again appeal to Your Excellency to urgently review upward funds allocated to the judiciary, comprising the High Court, Judicial Service Commission, and the multi-door courthouse as monthly overheads. This is why, under my watch, Your Excellency, Edo State Judiciary has continued to promote and uphold its independence, impartiality, and integrity. Today, as we celebrate on this auspicious occasion, it may be small to you, but it is big to me. I'm also very pleased to report that as I speak, this edifice and indeed the entire Edo State High Court complex has now been connected to the Osiomo power grid with uninterrupted power supply. For this, we also thank Your Excellency for this gesture, even as we urge you to extend this passion that has made all of this possible to other pending their areas of needs of the Edo State Judiciary.
What you said was a joke, but it has impacted on me quite a bit. He said that when you get to a place where there is a spectacle that is indeed a spectacle, you do not look at it with your eyes, you look at it with your mouth. In other words, the mouth go wide open. And as I stand here today, my lords, and I look straight ahead of me at an 8 to 9 story building, which 3 floors of which the Minister of Justice is privileged to occupy. And I'm standing here on this hallowed ground of a new High Court complex for the Judiciary of Edo State. Indeed, my mouth is agape. For the first time, I do not need to call my office in the morning to ask una deadlines. Our judiciary, as we have always said, are jewels of inestimable value. And Mr. Governor has never shied away from recognizing the fact that we must protect, we must promote, and we must project the judiciary. I really do not think that it is appropriate for me to say too much at this point in time. Say to thank Mr. Governor for the very obvious passion and commitment which have led to these 2 fortuitous structures almost facing each other, all devoted to the development of the people of Edo State. I want to thank you once again, Mr. Governor, for this magnificent structure, and to congratulate my Lord, the Chief Judge, and all the judges of the Edo State High Court that this is happening during your time. It is historic. It is something for which future generations will speak of.
For us as an association which stands to advance and promote the rule of law, we are particularly glad and elated for what is happening here today. Since it is on record that since the Samuel Obemudia's administration, this is the second very powerful intervention that the Edo State Judiciary has witnessed. And it is on record that this administration has actually done so well in ensuring that lawyers do not park outside the court premises or have difficulties in accessing their courts. But because so much has been done in ensuring that roads are given a facelift, and we must say that we are grateful to His Excellency for this very wonderful intervention.
So today's ceremony is actually to just hand over the keys of this property to the judiciary for use. We need a lot more courts very urgently. We need to vacate, get the High Court to move from the Agwabasimi facility in here, because we promised the Court of Appeal that we'll look at them temporarily there while we're doing work in their permanent premises. So this is just a handover ceremony, but it's also an opportunity to just unveil our thoughts and rationale for, what we're doing. As has been alluded to, for us, without the judiciary, we cannot have the democracy. It will be a democracy that's standing on 2 legs and therefore will not be balanced. So we've made that commitment from a point of knowledge and understanding that the judiciary is as important, as critical, if not more critical, for the sustenance of our democracy, just as the other two legs on which our democracy stands, the legislature and the executive. In our thinking, you first have to build infrastructure and then ensure that you then standardize or also upgrade what you put inside the infrastructure. So this is just the first in a series of infrastructural improvements which we are committed to working with the judiciary to undertake in Edo State. Subject to the outcomes of sessions I'm hoping that we'll have with the judiciary's strategic sessions to have a clear understanding of what you envisage and see the judiciary in Edo State to be over the next decade. We are hoping that we'll come up with plans to build things like, circuit courts, I don't know what you call them, but more like zonal or senatorial courts like this in Auchi and Ekoma. I cannot tell you how sad I felt during my electioneering. You recall we went to all the wards in Edo State. And what I saw in some communities that were being called magistrate courts were very, very disappointing and sad structures. So I hope that working with the judiciary, we will have a Marshall Plan to reposition the magistracy in Edo State. What I can assure you is that financially, we are very, very transparent. We will show you every kobo we earn and how we spend. Like I have always said, the challenge is not the share you get. The challenge is that the pie is still too small. We need to expand that pie so that we have enough, we have more to go around the institutions. And by the grace of God and with the support we're getting from you, establishing revenue courts, in retooling our revenue collection system, we will expand and increase significantly IGR in Edo State. And once we do that, we'll be able to put some more money into the judiciary and other institutions of state. It is now my singular honor and pleasure to now formally and officially hand over the keys of this building for the use of the judiciary to the Chief Judge of Edo State, and pray and hope that this building will be used for the preservation and sustenance of justice, in service of God, humanity, and the people of Edo State. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The library is the last. The library and the Please, let's move back. Let's move back, I beg. Let's move back. Thank you. Thank you, Excellency.
Yeah,